Red Corner Boxing. We're in the game.
Yes, good evening, fight fans. It's Mr. Neutral here from Red Corner Boxing and another episode of Mr. Neutral Meets. But before we get into it with Sam, we are sponsored by EasyStorage.com for all your local and nationwide needs. And of course, Boxing Fight Zone for your boxing merchandise apparel. All the links are in the bio. Please go check them out. Right. I am with one of Britain's finest entertainers out there, the one and only Mr. Sam Eggington. Welcome, Sam. How you doing?
Appreciate it. I'm all right, pal. Yeah, appreciate you having me on.
It's an absolute honour and a privilege, mate. You know, you're well known, obviously, for your hard, gritty style fighting, never say die attitude. I actually liken you to a Spartan warrior. If Leonidas was asking for 300 men, I'd be saying, get Sam Eggington in the front line. He's the one that will take the vanguard. You know, such as your style and introduction to boxing.
Yeah,
now we're getting that. We'll get into that in a sec. But if my man Jams could put the pictures up, we're having a bit of technical problems. You were honoured in November with the WBC Lifetime Achievement Award. Big up for that, because that is no mean feat in itself. And all because you have become a WBC silver champion in 3 weight divisions. On top of that, you're the IBO champion in 2 divisions, silver, the WBA in another division, and the IBF. Only the lowly, and I mean the lowly WBO, who couldn't be bothered to contact Sam Eggington and say, do you want to win one of our titles? You know, that's therefore, but there you are. Yeah, you're with a legend in itself, getting that lifetime achievement, Richie Woodall. And you've got a fantastic showcase of belts there. So, you know, it's a proud, you got more titles than Alexander Usyk, for God's sake. Yeah. You know, you started off as the Midlands champion, where I think it was your 6th fight. Then you became British champion at welterweight, followed by Commonwealth, followed by the British, and then the European champion. I mean, let's go back to, you know, your humble beginnings quickly, Sam, about, you know, let me bring in, you know, your trainer and your promoter, John Pegg. So where did that all start?
So what it was is, I mean, I had my first son at 16, 17, I think it was.
Wow.
And I was a forklift driver.
Same here, my man. Ex-forklift driver, counterbalance, man. I bet.
Yeah, see, I had the counterbalance and the reach.
Oh, I never did the reach. I was always afraid of the heights.
Yeah,
falling down on me.
More difficult.
Come on.
More difficult, that one.
Absolutely.
But, so my mate was turning professional properly. You know, Craig Cunningham beat a go-go up on the
Yes, Craig.
Yeah. So he was turning professional. He was, you know, he was doing it properly.
Mm.
And like I said, I just had a son. I had my own flat and so on. And I needed some money, and I just got made redundant. Because the thing was with my job, that I had to be there for 6 o'clock in the morning, but the first train weren't till 6. So I was late every day. Yeah. It was only 2 stops, but you know, I was a good 10, 15 late every day. And at one point they just got rid of me and said, listen, last in, first out sort of thing. And I needed to earn some money. Like I said, I had a son, I had a flat, I had over half. I needed to earn some money. I heard about the journeyman thing. So I rang Craig. I said, listen, Craig, have a word with your manager, your trainer. Tell him I'll come up and I'll fight every week. Win, lose or draw, I'll fight the week after. And that's literally where I met John Pegg.
Now, John has been instrumental in your career, because I read somewhere that, you know, he didn't just see a journeyman, as you were just, you know, self-describing yourself at that time.
Yeah.
And he could polish you into a diamond. and it's got to be said that John Pegg and is instrumental in all your success. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, like I say, John saw more in me than what I saw. Do you know what I mean? I went to cause I had a different man at the start. I was managed by Dave Caldwell.
All right.
So I went up to Dave. Didn't have a fight under Dave, but I signed the contract. And I just got nothing back off him. There's no phone calls, no messages, nothing. And I was still training with John. So John rang Dave and said, "Listen, swing his contract over. I'll just take him instead." Do you know what I'm saying? He's watching me spar and so on and so forth. And Dave weren't bothered. He had other things going on, so he just signed me over. And that's where, like I said, that's where it started. But John Pegg said very early. I told him I'd be a journeyman. We had a few spars. He said, "Sam, this ain't this ain't for you, mate. This journeyman thing." And like I say, he was right. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just not my way of boxing. I can't stay out the way. I can't. Do you know? I'm getting hit. Left, right, and centre. So journeyman stuff just weren't for me.
I mean, and it certainly wasn't, because by you entered these prize fighter tournaments, didn't you?
Yeah.
As part of that, and I mean, I'd be hard pressed to hold it against you. A split decision loss to Johnny Coyle, and a
No, I beat
3-round
Johnny
loss.
Coyle.
Oh,
I
you
beat
beat
Johnny
Johnny
Coyle.
Coyle. All right.
Oh no, sorry, no, Johnny Coyle beat. Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. My
yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. It was Dale
I get a
Evans you
punch for
beat
a
in the
living.
rematch. You
Yeah,
beat
yeah.
Dale Evans in the rematch,
Nah,
so
you're right.
I
Because I've been in
don't.
two, and that's why I've been in two of them. That's why I got beaten
Yeah,
by Dale Evans in the first one, and then I went into
yeah,
another one, and that's where I beat. Yeah, that's where Johnny Cole beat me in the semis.
yeah. The semis there. I mean, but obviously, I don't count those 3 rounders really as
Nah.
as losses, especially as you did Dale Evans, for the British Commonwealth.
Yeah.
So no. I mean, incredible record. You've had 20 title fights. You've
Yeah.
won 14 of them, and you've lost 6. You've only been stopped twice. Does it frustrate you when, and I'm pretty sure it does. Does it frustrate you when people say, Sam Eggington's had too many hard fights, he should retire and all that? But what I see is the fact you've only been stopped twice. You've lost 2 split decisions, 2 managed decisions, and 2 minor losses at 3 rounders. So I think people are they too harsh on you about too many was Mr Sam Savage Eggington?
I think so. I mean, again, my training, like I said, I've if I got hit that much, that many times, for one, I'd have been stopped more, and for two, I'd 100% been on the ground more than I have been.
Exactly.
And granted, I'm not Lomachenko by any standards, but I do know how to ride punches and catch punches, and you know I'm saying I'm a 45 fight veteran. Do you know what I'm saying? I learned these things. I've learned. Do you know what I'm saying? So, granted, it looks brutal, and a lot of times, if it's brutal, well, 99% of the times, if it's a brutal fight, it's because I've chose that.
Exactly.
No one's ever
Exactly.
dragging me to the well. Do you know what I mean? Like, and again, if all the fights I'd been in had been as hard as they was, but I was being dragged there, then I get it. It probably would have took a toll on me because it's not my choice. But the fact that I get in and choose that, I think, like I say, I think people are seeing what they want to see. Again, I've had 45 fights. I've been stopped twice. I've been on the floor once. Do you know what I mean? If I was getting hit that hard and that often, I'd 100% been on the floor more times and more than likely been stopped more than twice. Do you know what I'm saying? So again, it's for whatever what people see. I feel fine. I do all the checks. It is what it is. I
It was
enjoy
a
my job.
it was a ridiculous notion at 30 years of age. You have been unlucky with cuts and such, and you're after fight picks, your face looks a lot worse, and they get this false assertion that, again, and what I call the health and safety armchair experts of
Yeah,
boxing.
yeah.
Come out and say, "Oh, he's had enough. That's your time to retire."
And
Ridiculous,
again, a lot of them
ridiculous.
never been hit in their life anyway.
Exactly.
So
Look, that's all part of your style. That's all part of you. You get in
yeah,
close quarters. These things are bound to happen. But 16 times out of 20, 14 times out of 20 title fights, you've come off the victor, and it's them that's come off the worst.
exactly.
And they're focusing on the wrong man.
I think so. I mean, but I'm bound to say that. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but again, I don't feel too bad. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when I'm in the ring, I don't feel old. When I'm training for a fight, I don't feel old. I don't feel. If anything, I'm in my prime. I'm young, like early 30s. You're in your prime. I've just got a wealth of experience. And that's something you can't pay for. So again, I feel good. And people keep saying, "Oh, Sam's too old. Sam's too this," and he's past it. But I beat an up and comer last time out.
Yes, Lee
The fight
Cutler.
before that, was, I think it was Baru. This brother's next fight's Crawford. Do you know what I mean? I lost against a split decision on that, and they didn't know who'd won on that. Though. They was telling us in the corner like, we don't know. If you've got it, you've got it. If we've
Exactly.
got it, we've got it. So,
Exactly.
and this kid's touted to do really well. He's beat some good Cubans since I fought him. So again,
Well,
people they see what they want to see. They see what they want to see.
they they do see what they want to see, and let it be known that every time you have suffered a defeat, you've won the very next time. You've never suffered a back-to-back defeat.
Nah,
In fact, it's inspired you to go on three-weight WBC silver champion,
I've
two-weight
won.
IBO champion, silver, IBF, WBA, all different weights. You've, three-weight world champion in my eyes.
Again,
You
brother,
couple,
people see what they want to see. You can take as many bouts home as you want. If you come out with a black eye, people think you're done. It's crazy.
yeah. Now, what's your favorite fight that you remember? The one that that
I
you
think, I
hold
think
dearly.
the performance, well, not so much, but the fight in general it had to be the Jakitu fight, the defense of the WBC
Oh
silver.
God, yeah,
He's gone on to do
yeah.
really well as well. Your
He
man's
has, he
he's gone on to do
has.
really well. Cool guy as well. He was real cool guy.
he, he was a banger. I mean, you
Yeah,
gave us another great fight there. And I mean, as I said before, the amount of title fights you've been in, people are not giving credit for the fact that you've only lost 6 title fights out of 20. And the ones you have lost have all gone on to bigger and better things.
yeah.
Even the boy, who did stop you, put you on the floor, McGuane was his name. Um, you know, he's got a ridiculous resume now, and he's African middleweight champion. You
Yeah,
know,
again, he's probably someone really. In all honesty, I should have beat. You know, but again, this is boxing. You can't get in the shower and not get
this
wet.
is
And he caught me with a good hand, a good right hand, and it just caught me nice. Would I have chose to carry on? Probably, but is that stupid? Probably. So, again, it's all part and parcel. It's all part of the story. You win some, and again, it proves a lot of people wrong because after that one, the amount of times I got told to stop now, this is time to stop, and I've done so much more since. So, you gotta laugh.
yeah, exactly. Now, you've been in with so many different styles, Sam, over the years. Is it a case there that you've, even at your what I call tender age of 32, is there any styles that surprise you now?
I don't think so. I mean, the Jakitu fight was a surprise because again, it weren't meant to be that hard of a fight. I tell you the truth, and that sounds bad, but it just weren't. Your man had never fought out his own country at the time. Um, he's won a French title of some sorts. We thought it was going to be an easy job. That one shocked me a bit. But not really, not really. I mean, they're all you've all got 2 arms and 2 legs. some are faster than others, some hit harder than others, but boxing's quite a simple game. You know what I mean?
He was crazy, absolutely crazy boxer. As you said, gone on to bigger and better things. So let's bring us up. I mean, Lee Cutler for the WBC super lightweight title there. As part of the frustration of your journey, it's been the weight jumping. Is that been by design, or is it
Nah.
something that you've had to take what you can when you can?
Yeah, well, the welterweight days, I was really just, enjoying boxing. I was really big at it. I could just walk at people and and enjoy my time. But it got to a point that when I lost my European, that making the weight was getting to a point where it was, yeah, it was starting to get
Maybe,
scary.
yeah,
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 and again, another kid, not to be, he's gone on to do really good things. He's just won the WBA gold will. I don't know what it is, WBA World Summit. Um, but yeah, I should have beat him really. Lost by a point, but
yeah,
making the weight was just something that I couldn't do again now. If you couldn't pay me to do it again. Um,
yeah. That
so
was a
we,
great
so
year for you, wasn't it?
yeah,
2017. You knocked out the really highly regarded Frankie Gavin, the
yeah,
ex-amateur champion. Paulie Malignaggi, you knocked out in 8 rounds of the O2. Were fantastic, to retain your international welterweight title. And then you won the European welterweight
yeah,
against Seferino Rodriguez with that 10th round knockout. Fantastic. Put him through the ropes, everything.
yeah.
Get out of my ring. That
It
was
was all going too well.
a great year. But and then obviously Mamumi happened after that.
Yeah.
But again, I come back to this thing. You're not a man to be kept down. You come back straight back.
Nah.
2 fights. Then you got up to light middleweight for your IBO shot there against Peter Kramer, done the business in round 4. I mean, you feel that again? We come back to this. It's only when you lose that you're really judged. You don't judge you for when you're winning all these titles.
Yeah.
It's not as positive as the rhetoric when it comes to oh, he's lost, that's it, and all the rest of it.
People, like I say, everyone's got their own opinion, and that's fine. But like you say, I never take an easy fight. A lot of my keep busy fights are only keep busy fights because whether I've lost or won my last title fight, my keep busy fights are just so I can box for a title in the next big fight.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So really, every fight I've lost, I've always come back to a big title fight and won it. Like you said, I've never gone back to back losses. So and people don't see that. People only see when you lose, and it's a very fickle sport, really. Again, I could win my next 2 now. People will be telling me I'm ready for God knows who, but as soon as you lose
yeah,
one, people want you to
that's it.
retire. It's
That's it. The
fickle,
build.
and it's the only sport like that. I mean, tennis players, pool players, darts, football, anything. You lose, you've got hundreds of thousands of fans there the next time. With boxing, you lose, all of a sudden they want you to retire. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
they trickle off into the woods, as they do, But let's get up to date now. You did win that fight against Lee Cutler. You tied him in the 9th round. You got the WBC International Super Welterweight title again. Now, what's the plans now? What have we got coming up?
Well, again, that fight was not only for the title, but it was a British title eliminator.
Mhm.
I don't think anyone else has fought an eliminator this year. Ishmael Davis has just won the British. I know he's got a voluntary against is it Bilal Fouaz. So
Fellas, yeah.
yeah, so they're fighting in February, I think. I'm pretty sure that I should be made mandatory. No one else has fought an eliminator for the bout. Um, in all honesty, I want the winner of that. I'm speaking to the European champion, Summit Pratt, another kid from Jakitu's neck of the woods. 23 fights, 1 loss. I think he's knocked 22 out. He's just won the European. So I'm talking with him now. Well, his team, and they're saying, next year they're happy for me to be his first defense. So, but again, I'm here to fight. So the first person to send me a contract that's right, I'll sign it.
I mean, absolutely. I'm just, a bit dumbstruck with the fact that, you've had a quiet 2024 since picking up that belt. Obviously, you've been awarded the WBC Lifetime Award. So it's sort of been a bit of a bittersweet year for you, in
Yeah,
the
again,
absence
do you know
of
what
a
it
big
is?
fight.
I think people are seeing I'm 32, and they're giving me as long as they can off before they send me a contract. I think it happened with Joe Pigford,
Yeah.
even who was I just on about? For the European at super lightweight, super welterweight.
Pratt.
Nah, I thought I lost against a point. What's his name? I just said it. But I think they're all doing it. I think they're giving me as much time out the ring before they send the contract to then think,
Yes.
give me, you know what I'm saying? Time out the ring before they want to fight me. So then that way, then, I'm sort of cold.
Yeah, I've just got to mention that because it is something I've noticed within your resume. It is noticeable that when you do either win or lose, there's a
Yeah,
gap between your fights. You've been averaging 2 fights a year since 2018, something like that,
yeah.
and then
And if you look,
2024 comes, and then you got
if you
one
look
fight.
before that, I'm trying to fight 3-4 times a year, whether they're big or small.
Yeah, because you fought 2016, 2017, 2018. There were multiple fights.
Yeah, even in lockdown, I was
2019,
busy.
yeah, 2019 you had 6 fights. 2020 you had two and 21. Obviously, COVID come back, but
Yeah.
that all happened. But it beggars belief that that promoters, or is it the fact that you're just too dangerous, Sam? Because they look at the stats, don't they, when they weigh you up for matchmaking, and they say,
I say this all the time. I'm in the group who needs me. I'm always a hard fight, whether you win or lose. You're in a hard fight. But again, my record, I have lost a few times. So people are thinking, if you beat me, I've already lost 9 times. Do you know what I mean? And then if you get beat, they think you've just been beat against someone who's
yes,
passed it. But again, I'm here to fight, and all this whole boxing thing lately is all about showbiz and social media followers. It's
yeah,
crazy, but again, I can only do as much as I can. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm here to fight. So, like I just said, the person who sends me the contract and it's right, I'll sign it. And I'm not here to ask for millions of pounds. Do you know what I mean? I've never asked for something I've never priced myself out in any way, shape, or form. My resume will tell you that I'll fight just about anybody. So I don't really know why I'm out of work. I don't get it. I thought picking up the belt this year would have at least got me a few phone calls. Do you know what I'm saying? But
mm.
it is what it is. I can only do as much as I can.
I mean, if anyone's watching out there, the man's ready and waiting. Look at him; he's
Give me
etching.
a shout. Give me a shout. Like I say, I'll do.
Even
I'll do super well. I'll do middle. As long as everything's correct. I'm broadening my horizons. You know what I'm saying? I'll do super
yeah,
well. I'll do middle.
absolutely. I mean, let me
But
ask you
again,
about middleweight. Let me ask you about
yeah,
middleweight. You beat Carlos Molina to win that vacant WBC silver belt. Did you feel really good at middleweight?
yeah. Like I say, moving up from welter to super welter. Super welter was quite comfortable to do. 11 stone, I can really do. So middleweight was a breeze, if I'm honest. And if we're honest, Carlos Molina's not a middleweight. Um, he's
Okay,
he's a super welter that kind of just he's bouncing about what he wants to do now. So
but Jiu-Jitsu
again,
was. Jiu-Jitsu
yeah,
was.
well,
He
yeah,
was a belter middleweight.
yeah,
Uh, and it
but
was weird after that fight that you went back down to light middle to but you took that IBO light middleweight title against
yeah,
this.
you know that they're big middleweights. The big, like I say, and these are just like the big middleweights are big though. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not a big middleweight. I'm not a big middleweight. When the middleweights are big, they could really they could really do some damage.
Mm.
But with the middleweight silver, it was just the option at the time. Again, we won it, we defended it, and then the IBO World thing come across. Again, another option. So we took it. I weren't going to get a world title shot at middleweight anytime soon. And the IBO, like a world title, was just the last piece of the puzzle. Do you know what I mean? I've won everything. I've won an area title. I've won numerous internationals. I've won a Commonwealth, a European. I've won them all. So any sort of world title was just like the cherry on the cake sort of thing. So when that come up, we jumped at it. And again, I don't mind doing middle as long as the fight's right, and I don't mind doing super wire. But wherever the fights are, again, send me a contract.
Absolutely. What was your favourite win?
Probably the Gavin win, if I'm honest. It was, it's a local derby. There was a lot of things said in the run, not from me, not from my side. There was a lot of things said in the run up, and it weren't about boxing. Do you know what I mean? It got a bit personal. And I really enjoyed that one. Again, it weren't about the ballot, it weren't about anything. It was just a local derby that a lot of shit had been said. You'd have had to move about that night, mate, to put me down. I promise you.
Yeah, absolutely. Best atmosphere, best arena.
Yeah, it's obviously Birmingham. It's my hometown, but the local derby was unbelievable. It really was. Ask anyone who was there. It was crazy about where he was.
Yeah. Talk of the derby. You go to the Alan Graves and David Cochran fight next Saturday.
I don't know. I don't really watch boxing, mate. I'm not a huge fan. I like my boxing sort of thing. I don't watch it. I'm not one to, to wait up or wait for the big ones, pay-per-views or anything like that. I don't go to the local shows unless it's one of my own unless it's John Pegg sort of thing. I'm not really a huge fan in it at all.
That's interesting. I mean, obviously, you keep it insular to yourself and your team around you, and what's relatable to them. I get that. So a bit surprising that you don't watch boxing, but I get it. But great stuff. Right, so it's just a basic case of waiting for that phone call to ring. We want that European champion to, give you a call.
Yep.
The money's not an issue.
Either the European or the British. Make me mandatory for the British, hopefully.
Ismail Davis, we want to see that.
Yeah, whoever wins out of him and the other guy, I'll take that. The European, if the contract's correct, I'll take that. But in February, I got a little 6 to 8 in Cannock on Scott Murray's show. So we're staying busy, we're staying ready, and hopefully, something will come from it. But again, without I can only do my part. Do you know what I mean?
I know it's frustrating, mate. I can see it in your face. It's just one of them. You've just got to be patient, I suppose. Finally, mate. What do you want to say to your fans now? That you're in this position.
To be fair, I've been really lucky, if I'm honest, pal, because like I said, I was meant to be a journeyman. My first 10 rounder for the Midlands, I think I sold 18 tickets. Like 2 brothers, a sister, my mum and dad was there, so there's 5. Do you know what I mean? But I've built up a really big following, and they follow me everywhere. Whether I've been out the ring for a while, they always come. So yeah, I gotta say a massive thank you to everyone that turns up, buys tickets, and shows support, because it's been a wild one.
Yeah, we know you're in Cannock in February. We'll be there, Record of Boxing. So show us
Brilliant,
support.
Give me a shout.
Absolutely. If we can get a media accreditation, even better. We'll obviously do an expose on yourself and the whole event for you. That'll be fantastic. So best of luck for that. In the meantime, we will be seeing you in 2026, no doubt. That's just going to happen. It's bound to happen. And again, dispel all notions of this man retiring. It's just not happening, right? It's a warrior. It's a Spartan.
Yeah, brother, again, you know what it is, yeah. People always say, "Well, what's the plan now? Like, well, you've won this, you've won that. What's the plan?" My plan is to keep a job that I like doing. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so yeah,
young fat. You got a 15-year-old son.
Yeah.
You know, you're 32. My father was a young fellow just a year later, and you got all that to come into play in your personal life as well. It's incredible what you've achieved. It really has to be,
Appreciate it, man.
Underlined, and the fact that you keep mentally strong, you want to entertain, you are an entertainer, and the fact that you're a badass in that ring, man, because you're high punch volume, you don't back down from nobody, you got more belts than bloody Usyk, and Turkey Al Sheikh should be on the bloody phone. So we will be promoting you ourselves here, Rick, on the boxing, Sam. But we want to thank you for giving us your time. 31 minutes, absolutely tremendous. But big up to you. Keep it going strong. No mercy. We'll see you soon. If you've liked this content here tonight on Mr. Neutral Meets a Rick on the boxing, and please give it a like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. It's free. It's painless. Do it now. And we thank you from the bottom of your hearts. This program is sponsored by EasyStories.com. That's them there on the thing. And Boxing Fight Zone, our boxing apparel merchandise partners. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts. I'm Mr. Neutral. That's been Mr. Sam Eggington, multi-weight world champion, one of the most lauded British fighting men around today. See you soon. See you next time.
Cheers, pal.
Big thumbs up to the producer. You can't hear me.
I'm moving. I'm going.